going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the Weapon H All-in-One Podcast with your host, Herman Austin. Today, we're going to get into excuses that we use for not being more healthy. I'm going to get into some excuses, and then I'm going to get into some answers, how to, dispute those little excuses that we tend to use every day. But before we get into it, I really just want to start by the main reason is just we have to start beginning to change our mindset. That's the biggest thing. The things we think, the things we say, you can't imagine how much of a way that it goes to affecting our everyday lives, whether it's today, tomorrow. And to give you a small example, you can ask someone, how was their day? And they'll say, man, I had an awful day today. And you ask them, okay, well, what happened? What made it awful? And they'll tell you what happened. And the incident at most, hey, just say, for instance, maybe a minute. So you let a minute destroy your whole day. Now think about it. It's 24 hours in a day, 1,440 minutes in a day, 86,400 seconds in a day. And you let 1 minute, one incident that probably took 1 minute, 60 seconds, destroy an entire day. So in essence, you let that 1 minute take away from your 1,439 minutes of your day. So you have 1,439. The day was okay, but that 1 minute dictated the whole day. 86,340 seconds you had for the rest of your day, but that 60 seconds wrecked everything. It's all about your mind state up here. That's the only thing that you focused on the whole day. What happened? You may have had great meals. You may have had 10 other good conversations. You may have talked to someone in your family. You spoke about a vacation. You spoke about what you're going to do this weekend. There's so many other things that went on in that day, but the only thing you wanted to bring up would be the one bad incident, which took a couple of minutes. And this is what I mean by letting the negative thought process dictate what you do. That negative process tends to become a downhill slope. So now all on your mind is negative. The only thing you start to say is negative. Of course, what you think is going to come back to you. The negative is going to come back to you. We have way too much time in the day to let something so small dictate how our whole day goes. Now to get into a lot of the excuses that we use, why we have the mind state. And I'm going to put it in the example of, keeping healthy, whether it's working out, eating better. We start off, one of the main excuses I always hear is financial. I can't afford to work out. I can't afford to go to a gym. I can't afford to hire a trainer, whatever the case may be. But then if you sit back and you ask this person, I ask them, okay, so what does your budget kind of look like as far as how much do you spend a week on snacks? You will have, most will say easily, and I'm going on probably a low spectrum, let's say $20 to $30 a week on snacks. I'll even just say 20, but it typically may be a little more, but just say 20. We leave it at 20. You can actually take out those snacks, and there's a couple of fitness classes that you can join. Most of them between the range $10 to $20. You can join a fitness class. Alcohol, even on the cheap end, you're going to $35 for a bottle or something, and you pretty much always buy two, or you buy the more higher end, which could run close to $100. That's a whole $100 in the budget right there where you can start taking better care of yourself. And it's in both of these things, it's double impact. Because one, you're not putting alcohol or bad food, sweets into your body, and you're using it to get yourself healthier. Throw in unnecessary clothing purchases. Some people just go out and buy clothing just to go out and shop. Get a couple of outfits, $100 something there, $200 something there, that you probably didn't even need. But using the clothes to cover up and try to make the exterior look good when you can already just take care of the body, and it doesn't matter what you wear, you will look good in, because you have yourself in decent shape. Nobody say you have to be some fitness model. We're not saying that. But you should be able to walk up a flight of stairs without getting tired. You should be able to go walk around the store and shop. You should be able to walk around in the park a little bit without feeling like you're out of breath. Because obesity is a huge issue in the United States and throughout the world, but definitely in the United States. Ordering out so often. I mean, man, how many times you order out? And, that's going to come to people saying they don't have time, but what are you ordering when you order out? You don't always have to order out. You have top line accessories. How many bags do you need? How many pair of shoes do you need? So you see in a lot of the case of women, this person going to see me in that dress once, so they don't need to see me again. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Why are you caring so much about what somebody else thinks? Is the dress nice? Did it look good when you wore it the first time? Okay, wear it again. So what? And if it's somebody talking about it, then what kind of person is that for you to be around anyway? So I just gave a few examples right there of different things that you can change to be able to fit eating more healthy or getting an exercise routine into making yourself a better, healthier person. And you don't have to pay for exercise routine. I mean, you can go right outside, especially now that the weather's getting warm. You can go right outside in the park. Some people work out right in their home. But even if you need a little help, now you have extra money around to be able to pay for extra services to actually help you get better. So I don't see, the logic that we have is a bit off when it comes down to taking better care of ourselves. Most people would rather take medications than eat better, because a lot of the diseases that we have today can be avoided. I mean, I'm sitting here now, I'm probably at about 25 years since I even had a cold. And it's not like I'm want to make it like I'm some type of freak of nature. I mean, the only thing that would make me a freak of nature is my thought process and prioritize and taking care of myself. Another excuse I hear all the time: time. Oh, I don't have time to work out. I just can't fit it in my day. Again, I'm going to have an answer for that one. You have some people who really do work a crazy schedule, but even a lot of people, they still find a way to watch some TV. They'll get in about a couple hours of TV a night sometimes, 1 hour in the night. And just think about, and then the weekends, they catch up. But how about one less TV show, 2 less TV shows throughout the week? You got a couple hours for you right there to get your workout in. And you don't even have to work out a whole hour, 30 minutes. You can actually get it done. Going out, you find time to go out. You find time to meet friends. You find time to go unnecessary shopping. A lot of those things that you do, there's your time right there. So again, it's all about how you think. It's your thought process. Now I'm going, this one is actually for only a certain amount of age groups, but age. A lot of people, then they get up a little bit, that's the first thing come out their mouth. Oh, yeah, I'm getting too old to work out. I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old to this. No, it's not. It's not too old for that. One, anybody who's worked with me, they already know I don't even allow that word. I'm using it right now in the podcast because this is what I hear, but I don't even use that word. If you keep on drilling that word into yourself enough, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be old. But I'm running around here doing pretty much everything I was doing in my 20s. And I'm 53 now, going on 54. I mean, I'm still out here playing full court basketball with younger guys. I may not jump and do all that dunking now, but I still get up and down the court and still pretty much do whatever I want. And that's only because of my thought process. I don't ever feel I'm old. And that's just another excuse to try not to do it. Because you can get in there, you have pool aerobics. I put people, I get you in the pool. You can walk. There's a lot of things that you do. I mean, all the same people that say, they're old, go out to a party, I see them over there dancing. That's just like exercise. You're moving, you're doing all these maneuvers, dropping it down and jumping and spinning and turning. Doesn't make a difference then, huh? It really is just all of how you want to perceive, things. Fatigue, being tired, is another one I hear. And that has some legitimacy, but at the same time, you be tired, but guess what? You can be dead tired, but you get up and go to work that morning. You can be dead tired, you get up and make sure those kids get to every event that they need to get to. You can be dead tired, but you still find a way to do the things that you want to do. So I don't allow that excuse either. Sure, everybody's tired sometimes. You're going to be a little bit less energetic. But how is it that when you're tired, that's the first thing you want to cut out? It's like, but continue to exercise, you continue to eat healthier. Guess what? You don't get as tired as fast either. Your energy is better. So it helps you in two ways again. Instead of just always using the excuse and, all right, I'm tired, I don't want to do it. Nah. Push through, get that done the same way you get the other things that you need to get done. This is something that needs to be done. That's the way you have to look at it. This is something that needs to be done for me to keep my body in pristine condition, where I won't have to keep going to the doctor every 2 weeks or so about some new ailment or some new sickness because I'm taking better care of myself. And tired typically relates to the next excuse, the job. Okay, everybody has to make their money, earn their living. But what happens when you're sick? What happens if you just, have to miss work for some other reason, get fired? I mean, anything that could happen. Is that job going to stop? Absolutely not. It's going to go on just like you were never there. So, sure, we're going to do our jobs. We're going to work hard. We're going to do it to the best of our ability, whatever the job is, whether you're working for somebody or working for yourself. You're going to do the job. But in order to function and do that job properly, you actually have to take care of yourself. You have to eat well. You do have to exercise. And that actually helps help you do your job better. So if it's really about the job, you will be concerned with taking care of yourself so you can do that job the way you know you can and to the best of your ability. So that's another excuse I'm going to knock off. Then you have the people that are, oh, well, I'm not athletic, I'm not coordinated, I never played sports, I never did this and that. If you never did anything, well, of course you're not going to be. But let's knock this out real quick. You walk every day. That takes coordination. You take that fork, you take that knife, you cut up that food, you show them how to put it to your mouth. You take that brew, you throw that up in here. You can do it with your left or your right hand. You can pour that liquor. All that stuff is coordination too. It's all a matter of what you choose to coordinate it with. If you keep on thinking I'm not coordinated, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this, I'm not going to be that. But you do things. Hell, I'm right. You see people who right-handed, they can pour with that left. They can eat with their left. They can break that right arm, but guess what? They're going to eat. You have coordination. So let's stop with the nonsense about you're not this and you're not that. Then you have people, well, I just don't like working out. It bores me. It does this. I don't like working out. Which is typically already, to me, sounds like a preconceived notion. It's preconceived. You already got in your head that you don't like to do it. So of course you're not going to do it. But what in fact is not liking to work out? Sure, you might not like certain types of exercises, but here's the whole thing. No one said you have to do some type of, always have to do an exercise routine that's set for you or you set for yourself. You can get out and do things that you like. Walking. Some people like dancing. Some people like boxing. Some people like tennis. It really doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's active and you're moving. That's exercise. So there's really no excuse for that either. So basically, if you're saying that you don't like to do anything but sit on your ass, I don't think so. Everybody likes to do something to an extent active, even if it's just picking up the fork and putting it in your mouth. They just find an exercise that helps you do that. How about that? But again, another poor excuse. Not going to have it. Discipline. Yeah, you got people say, oh, I just don't have the discipline to stay with a program every day. Again, you have discipline, but you just tend to use it in the way that you want to do it. You get up every morning, go right back to that again. You get up every morning and go to work. Again, go back with the kids. You make sure the kids get out. Make sure they're up every morning. Make sure certain things are done at a certain time. Guess what? You don't have discipline. It's just a matter of just how you decide to use that discipline. And of course, with all the preconceived notions already, you're going to automatically say, I'm not disciplined to do workout because you don't want to do it in the first place. But again, it's about finding something that you like to do that's active. And if by some slight chance that you don't like to do anything, then you're going to have to force yourself to do it. Because it's either that or you're going to be matted up for the rest of your life. At some point, with chair bound, can't do anything. That's not the way to live a life. The other ones is another reason. It's hard for me to work out with not have kids. I'll tell you what, kids are extremely active, most of them. As long as you don't have them in front of the video games and live long day. Kids are active. But guess what? While you have the kids doing their activities, that's your time to be able to get your exercises in. You can exercise right along with them. That way, guess what? You're also able to keep an eye on them, get your workout, get them to burn out energy so they won't be running around the house like mad children. You can get your exercise right along with the kids. So cut it out. Because I'm going to debunk it and I'm going to refute every excuse you come at me with. And you have some, I don't need to work out because I'm not fat. Okay. Just because you're not fat doesn't mean that you're healthy. It just means you're not fat. If you can't get up and down a flight of stairs without breathing heavy, like you're about to pass out, you're not in shape. So you may need to, handle a little bit of that, because that's you. Just because you're thin or you're not fat doesn't mean you still won't get sick. Still don't mean you won't hurt something easy because you're not moving enough. And another part of that is definitely stretching as well, because that's also a big part. So I don't want to leave that out, because the flexibility is insanely important, if not the most important part of any movement. Because you just, I mean, like get yoga, I mean, just to move these muscles so you're not turning fast and you're injuring something. Flexibility is extremely important. So through all of the things I gave, definitely have to make sure you're adding some flexibility in it. Now we're going to go into, and then another excuse. Eating healthy is hard. How is it hard? One, chances are you probably already brainwashed from everything you watch on TV, all the commercials, people that get little tales that was passed along the way. Healthy foods doesn't taste good. How is that? Healthy foods are just like any other food. I've seen people have fried chicken, and hey, if it's not seasoned right, what are you going to say? It's terrible, right? So it's the same thing with healthy foods. You find ways to season it, you find ways to make it taste better. So that's another poor excuse. Or healthy food is more expensive. Is it really? Some stuff does cost a bit more, because that's just their plan of keeping everyone obese, keeping everyone going to the doctor, keeping everyone unhealthy so they can make their money. I mean, it's a money making scheme for them to keep you unhealthy, out of shape, going back and needing drugs, going back and forth to the doctor, hospital all the time. It's a money making plan. But yes, it can be a little bit more expensive sometimes. But just like with anything else that you do, you shop, you search around, you can find deals. You got farmers markets that don't cost as much. There are ways that you can find healthy foods for less. Same way you find any other deal when you're buying articles of clothing or whatever else you're trying to save money on. You can do the same with healthy foods. Just a matter of whether you want to put the effort into it or not. Now, I'm going to end it there today, but I just wanted to make sure and just put out there that every excuse you can come up with, there's an answer for every excuse. You have to start making sure we're taking much better care of ourselves. So I just put out a few examples today, but hopefully you take this information and be able to begin the process of changing your mindset, because that's what this is really all about. It's really about changing the way you think about things. When you see something, don't just take it for its word. Go research it. Do your due diligence. Even what I just told you today, do your due diligence. Anything you had questions about, go look it up. Even things you may agree with, still look it up. So you have your own opinions, but it's just a process of starting to get your mind to start thinking differently. Because having a closed mind, a negative mindset, you're never going to be able to push forward. So again, I'd like to thank you all for joining in on another episode of Weapon H All-in-One Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, or iHeart, click that follow button. Make sure we get those viewerships up, and those follows and subscriptions up. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys soon.